Welcome back, guys, to another video of I've got a lot of stuff to ship out today. It's Monday morning. We had, a good amount of sales, definitely lower on the sales overall for the eBay store as months passed, but a lot of that happens because it's summer. It does slow a little bit during summer, not like a tremendous amount, but when you don't list the same clip that you used to in years past, which was 35 to 30 items a day, I'm down to about like 15 to 20. A lot of that's just because of other businesses that are taking off, and also it's getting a little harder to source. But I wanted to start the video on this one. I did ship probably, I don't know, like 20 items or 25 items so far, and I came across this one right here. Now this is Town Craft long sleeve button shirt. Now whenever I was first in this building, I was downstairs. I did like a buy sell trade store-esque type situation. Basically, it was an office on the first floor, and I would invite the public, try to get them to bring me their stuff. And what I found was a lot of people shop at Kohl's and Target and Walmart, and there's not a lot of good stuff out there in my town. But a lot of times I would get stuff for free. People would bring all of it up here, and then I'd pay them like 20 bucks for like 4 shirts because that's the most I could pay. And then they'd just be like, well, just take the rest. Well, this is one of the items from the free lot, and I just want to point out because it sold for $7.36 plus $8.99 shipping. So if we do the math and we hit the calculator and we see how much it actually went for, it's actually okay profit for zero cost of goods. Now, this has been listed. It's SKU number 19,631. We're currently on, let's see, 26,000 like 100. So it's been, I always go like every 1,000 is like, you could say almost a month of time. Now it's a little bit less on the SKUs. So it took, almost a year to sell, maybe like 9 months. I don't know. If you have the storage and you have free supply, maybe you could make something like this work. It's not glamorous by any means, but it's interesting to know, and it's going to somebody in New York. So I don't know. Maybe it's for like a Broadway play. Maybe they needed some, I would call it drab clothing. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just like a basic shirt. Nothing special about it, but somebody had to have it. So that was cool. Next up, we want to talk about all the returns that I had. So I'm going to start packing while I kind of like think through this, mull over like how I want to explain what's going on with the return situation. And before we dive like straight into that, I do want to talk about my favorite poly mailers, Jiaropack. Jiaropack poly mailers, they've been a sponsor of the channel for a long time, which I really appreciate. They have tons of colors you can use for mailers. I went with the light blues right here. Typically I go with the royal blue. I order about 4,000 at a time, and I only have to do that like twice a year, and then I'm pretty much good on my poly bags. These are the 10 by 13 inch. I think it's one of the best sizes for clothing. I've tried the smaller sizes. I do have some giant bags here. I went with the 24 by 24, I believe, in all black, which I probably should have chosen another color just because blacks do look like trash bags. But I like black over white though, to be fair, when it comes to poly mailers. These also come in padded poly mailers. If you like the padded stuff, the bubble stuff, it does cost a little bit. If you use code Taylor10 though on your first order, you'll get 10% off. It really helps the channel. It really helps me feed my family. So thank you guys for everyone who clicks that link, even if you don't get the 10% off because you've been reoccurring and like buying more. That's good too. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jiaropack. And like I said, tons of colors. I think the post office absolutely notices the difference. They've told me. I've talked to a bunch of people across the internet about using color mailers, and I think it's the way to go. So thank you, Jiaropack, for that. Now, when it comes to this whole return situation, I have a lot of returns because I sell a lot of items. And I showed you the clip. I pretty much leave them on that table until it's just, until it's about 10 items. And then I'm like, all right, let's go through and actually relist these items. Now, why don't I just have Randy do it? Randy works 10 hours a week. Those 10 hours are precious hours. I don't want her redoing work that I could do a little bit faster. Now, I could maybe show her how to relist the items from, the website, but it honestly is a little annoying, just how many clicks you have to get to figure out what's what when it goes with the returns. So I think I'll just keep on doing it, but I do want to time myself to figure out like how long it actually takes. I think it's less than 30 seconds though. And if that is the case, you know, Randy doing photos, maybe like a minute, and then me relisting the items from the photos takes like a minute or less. So it is faster for me to do it myself, almost, I guess, 4 times faster than having Randy do it. And I think that is the way to do that kind of situation, just because, you know, then I can really see like, okay, maybe they returned it because there is a flaw that we missed, or maybe it's returned in a different condition than when I sent it out. Now, that hasn't happened in clothing all that much. Now, I did have somebody send back the wrong item. That was annoying because I went to the post office and I actually had to pay, I think it was $3.60 to receive the item, but they wouldn't let me open it, so I didn't know what item it was. And then I was thinking, well, if this is like a $50 item and I send it back because I didn't want to pay $3, according to the post office, now this is almost criminal, but they shipped it back in a like brown envelope, right? Just a plain brown envelope, but they used priority tape on it that they had gotten from the post office, but they put the label for like Ground Advantage and not priority. So because they used the wrong tape that the post office had, the post office on my side said this is a priority mail package because the tape is priority, and they put it in the priority, I guess, batch, even though the label said regular. You guys let me know down in the comments how messed up that is. I thought it was ridiculous. And then on top of all that ridiculousness, it wasn't even an item from my store. They sent back some random dress. And I was like, dude, and it wasn't like a Lily Pulitzer, or I don't know if that's how you say her name, but like it wasn't an expensive dress. It wasn't a St. John dress. It was like one of those like long dresses that you would wear at like a pool, like a you know, an older woman or a grandmother would wear, like those long, almost like a nightgown type dress at a pool. That's what it was. And then the guy messaged me and said, hey, I sent the wrong item. Go ahead and ship that back to me, and then I'll see about getting your item back to you, or something like that. And I was like, dude, I am not like putting any more money or effort into the mistake you made and the headache you caused. So yeah, I just didn't even respond to him. So maybe it's bad on me. I blocked the guy. If you can't ship it back correct, if you're sending back wrong items, I don't really want you dealing with, you know, purchasing stuff from my store, because it just creates like just massive amounts of headaches. And then the whole like indecision of like, you know, I go to the post office every day. I do the same thing. I go to my P.O. box, I see if any items came in, and then I, you know, drop off mine, and then sometimes I gotta wait in line if I do have something to pick up. And then I had to decide in front of everybody, like a fool, do I pay the $3 for this? And the people are like, what a cheapskate. Like, just pay the money. But they don't get, like, that I pretty much burnt $3.60 right in front of my face and then was stuck with some dress that I didn't want. So this is a Tommy Bahama. This is a linen shirt. I really thought this should have went for more money. It went for like $26 shipped. Usually linen does pretty well. It's a blue plaid. Maybe because it didn't have any floral, you know, patterns on it, it didn't do as well. But yeah. So we also have a bit of a sourcing issue, which I mentioned 2 videos ago, and I had a lot of people reach out about trying to supply me items. Now, I have one lead, which I'm going to work with him for sure later this month. So maybe towards the end of the month, you guys will get like a little context into what that lot looked like. And then there's somebody else who they would have to ship the items to me. I need to figure out, you know, what's the biggest size for the cheapest cost, and kind of figure out the logistics there. And then also, is it going to be enough profit after all that? So answer down below, like, should I go the route of trying to source from my audience? Like, is that even fair to my audience that watches, trying to, you know, compare, which you shouldn't really compare, but it's like, if you have these advantages of speaking in front of hundreds and thousands of people, you know, it's like, is that right? Like, should I take deals like that? You know, if people are trying to help out, because honestly, some people are trying to push wholesaler lots, you know. And I've only done 2 of them. I've bought 2 wholesale deals. No, I take that back. I bought 3. One of them was a true friend, and the stuff was awesome. The other 2, I didn't really know the people, and it was kind of a ripoff. One was like a break even, and the other one was a loss. So I guess you could say 1, 1, and 1. 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 like tie, which a tie is a loss when you think about the time it took to break even. So that really doesn't count. But what do you guys think? Like, would you do it? If somebody said, hey, you know, I've got items $4 a piece plus shipping, would you do that? Because then it would save you time. And you know what? I may message them today and be like, you know what, dude, let's go with it. I'll spend $400 just to see. And then maybe make a video about it and make like $20. I don't know. Honestly, these videos, YouTube doesn't pay well in the summer. The ads pay less. It's usually November, December. That's why you'll see more content in the colder months. Because when it's fourth quarter, actually, for social media, the ads pay more. And that's like a little thing. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe I should just, you know, try $400. And that's a tremendous amount of money. Like, honestly, when I think about it, I think like, let's spend less than $1,000 a week on items. You know, typically it's, I don't know, like 6 to 8 maybe. So if I spend $1,000 and then I have enough items and maybe I can save a trip on the day to go to Dallas, then I can build up some of my other business, work on content. I might be going on a pretty fun trip pretty soon. I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but that's something that I'm looking forward to. If it works out, it works out. You guys will hear about it. If not, then you'll never hear about it again. But it's pretty cool, man. It's cool to try to figure out other ways to make money. I know people are here to learn about like reselling and brands, and I definitely want to bring to you some of that content. It's a little tough. Like, you make certain brand videos, and like I've made a couple that have done well, but it's not like there's another new 100 brands to be looking for. And then, you know, there are nuances in brands, which, you know, you got to kind of stay on top of trends and figure out what's working. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing the best I can with the channel. I also just want to talk about like kind of how I'm processing running this stuff, because when I think about it, you know, running a business, if it's e-commerce, like gig economy, if it's making you a full-time living, like a lot of that style of work doesn't last more than like 5 years. Like, people start a business, usually 5 years is like the cap on how long it actually goes. You know, usually things go wrong, and I'm not saying things are going wrong here, but I'm saying things are definitely changing. You know, money on eBay has not been as great definitely the last month, but my son was sick for an entire week, so that did, you know, hurt quite a bit, because there's 52 weeks in the year, and if you take 1 week away, like, you could almost say that percentage of your business is lacking because you did, like, you know, very little work. But it's almost more than that, because it's like a momentum thing, but then it's also like a chain reaction thing, because then everything gets behind, and then you got to bring everything back up. So it's tough to take vacations when you're working for yourself, when you don't have as much help, and then it's also tough to have, you know, sick kids. But Seth is doing good. He's actually really learning to talk. So for a while there, he was just saying like "bah" for a long time, but now he's like mumbling, and he'll have whole conversations, and yeah, we don't know, you know, and he's not saying like a lot of stuff that we can understand, but this last like 2 weeks has been pretty incredible to see his transformation. And you know, most people, they probably are used to it, and they have multiple kids. This is our first kid, so to see this kind of stuff, no way. To see this kind of stuff is pretty wild. So this is wild. Somebody in my hometown bought this shirt. It's an Under Armour shirt with Sky Vodka embroidered on the sleeve, and it's a big shirt. And the guy, no lie, the guy's name is Mark McGwire, like the home run hitter for the Cardinals. So either one of the greatest home run hitters of the steroid era bought this shirt, which it's a 3XL, so there's a chance, and he's in my town. Now, I've had people in my town order shirts that say, hey, can you just deliver this to me so I don't pay shipping? Honestly, it's a $19 sale. it's still cheaper to ship it out for $4.87 and have the post office do the legwork than for me to try to message this guy. He has to click on eBay like item was delivered or something like that. There's some type of thing he has to do or scan, and that could go wrong. And also, like, even if it took me, 5 minutes to drive there and do it, like, I know it's going to take longer than 5 minutes, so it still wouldn't be worth the time, in my opinion. Unless, what if he, I said, hey, yeah, I buy and sell clothes, and he has a bunch of stuff to sell me. So that is kind of a thing. If you guys have not tried that in your town, you could be like, I buy clothes, and try to get some clothes from people. It could work. This is some patchwork Ralph Lauren shorts for $26. But honestly, like, meeting up with people for this is not good. Now, when I do Facebook Marketplace deals, I like to have it to be at least 40 to 100 at a minimum before I do that deal. And I've got some items I need to sell on Facebook Marketplace. And I just got to get them listed. My listing routine for Facebook is non-existent. So I got to, like, come up. Do you guys sell on Facebook? It was actually the first place I really started selling stuff before eBay. I was doing a lot of Facebook Marketplace deals. I did garage sales to Facebook Marketplace for a short period of time. And man, I was even doing like $10 and $20 deals when I was starting, because I was like, oh, this is like instant come up, And I was working 40 hours. I was also mowing a lot of lawns for like $30 and $40. It's just, man, I used to do anything I could to make money, and now I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the easiest way to make the most money. I think that's kind of an obvious statement, but a lot of people fall into the trap of just doing what works, and then they don't try to do better, because, yeah, it's great to sell, these items, and then you say find, like, better items to make more money per hour, but it's also good to, like, shout out companies or to, like, do other types of affiliate stuff and make like way more money than selling like clothes. So, I know it's not ideal for you guys. Oh, this is a good one to like hear stuff you don't really, passionate about, like Jiaropack. But many people are passionate about Jiaropack, but it's not like some people aren't, so you got to hear it every time well, a couple times a month. But yeah, this is a vintage Wrangler Pearl Snap. This is the color block with green and white. This one sold for $28.50 plus $8.99. So $37.50 on the vintage Wrangler Pearl Snap. It is not the brush popper. This is, in fact, just a Pearl Snap. If it was a button up, it'd probably sell for a little bit less, but it definitely would still sell. Wait a second. Where is this going? It's going to California. You know what? I think the post office rates went up. Are you guys seeing that too? I think the post office rates went up. I should have noticed. I feel like I noticed on the priority. Ground Advantage, it's a little harder to notice. But I just noticed the price go up. You guys let me know in the comments. It's now July 1st. That's midpoint of the year, so maybe that was... Oh my goodness, man. The shipping, dude. I think it was Daily Refinement said shipping is going to be $9, $10 eventually. And man, it might be. Now, I'm still charging $8.99 for shipping. I had a viewer ask me about zones and shipping costs, and she has like 3 different scales of items and shipping. I just did it $8.99 across the board, and honestly, I may just bump it to $9.99. Now, I don't know how many people that'll deter, because a lot of people already, not a lot, but a fair amount will say like $8.99 is too much to ship a shirt. I mean, yeah, kind of, it is. But if it keeps creeping up and up and up, it may not be, So, man, I don't know. That's definitely something to consider. But yeah, we've got, some common stuff. We got this Ariat Pro Series 2XL. This one went for $29. So that's a pretty good little sale. And yeah, I mean, if it sells for $30, like I'm gonna pay in the thrift store, I'll pay up to $9, because a lot of times they're $8.99 for shirts, which is frankly criminal if you ask me. I mean, thrift stores, I don't know. I wonder if this just changed like on the fly. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's definitely up. Priority is definitely higher. So this one is going from Texas to Minnesota, and it's less than a pound. It's 15 ounces. If I went priority, it'd be $8.30. $8.30. And then if it goes ground advantage, it's $6.09. So I guess that 6.09 used to be like, maybe it was 5 something. That's a lot, dude. I mean, $8.30 to ship a 1 pound package. Less than a pound. That's crazy, man. Yeah, so looks like things need to change. It almost makes me want to change the title of today's video, which I haven't really decided, so there's no changing involved, but not yet at least. This is a vintage Ralph Lauren. Now, the Ralph Laurens that are made in USA sell for a lot more money, that are solid, and that's the nice green color too, but this one, again, went for $29, and it was absolutely over a pound on this one, though, as opposed to that Ariat one. Yeah, that lime green for Ralph Lauren, in my opinion, I mean, I think it's one of the better colors they have. It looks pretty good. I had one, but it was stained, and I didn't keep it. I don't really wear a lot of button-ups anyway. Let's see. Yeah, man, it's a lot, dude. It is a lot. Things are changing, man. Things are changing with pricing on this, so. Man, I'm going to have to talk to some of my other reseller friends and see, like, what are they going to do about it. There's not much you can do, though. That's the thing. There's not much you can do about price of shipping. It's just, it's the nature of the beast. It's another one of these things. And it's almost like, could it eliminate reselling forever? Could shipping just get to the point where it's like, well, you can't push volume. You're going to have to just sell expensive stuff. And then thrift stores are holding back expensive stuff. So, like, you know, what are you going to sell? Yeah, this one is 10 ounces, and it's $5.32. So it's over 5 now for under 12 ounces, and that is, it has changed. So today must have been the first day. I'm actually going to get on the horn with a friend of mine and talk to him about this. Mainly complain. Just complain and moan about shipping prices. That's what I'm going to do for probably the next, I don't know, 30 minutes or so once I get done here. But hey, that's part of it. I'm going to go through and see if there's any like outstanding sales that I got. I didn't have a lot of like, it wasn't like big money, you know, today in sales. I had a pretty good amount though. It was like 58 items. So that's from the weekend, of course. And yeah, today's going to be an interesting week too. We got 4th of July and America's birthday. So where there's like a festival type thing going on, fireworks. And my son, he's out on 4th of July from daycare, and then my wife is off. And, you know, I'm kind of like off whenever they are. But then the next day, my son is, his daycare's closed that Friday, and then my wife has to work. So me and Seth are just going to be hanging out like, you know, it's like bachelor time when it's just me and him. So we have a few pairs of shorts that sold for good money. So we have some Lululemon chino shorts sold for $39, and then we have some Faherty shorts sold for $39, and then we've got Banana Republic Traveler chino pants for $30 or $29, Cinch jeans, the white label, for $30, and then we've got Performance Ralph Lauren, and then we got this FootJoy sleeveless, which I'm still picking up FootJoy sleeveless. It's a quarter zip, not just like quarter zip sleeveless, for $34. So yeah, I'm definitely picking that one up. It's a navy blue color, so pretty nice. And that's gonna wrap it up. So let's recap. We've got Jiaropack, we've got dealing with returns, we've got shipping increases. All the stuff is happening. Hope you guys are trying to figure it out. If you have questions, let me know. If you have questions about like tax stuff, I don't really like typing out all that stuff. I am going to make a video related to tax stuff and fountain banking later. I don't know if it's this month or next month, but we have a video lined up, and then I do have a sourcing video. So I'm going to source tomorrow, take some clips, and then I got some old clips. So we're going to do like a little mashup sourcing video for you guys, and look forward to that next. So appreciate you guys watching, hanging out. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.